A couple of days ago, I posted a video interview with Bob Allen on my YouTube channel. It was recorded at the All British Car Display Day at Richmond, New South Wales. Bob recently took his Jaguar XK on a circumnavigation of Australia. Over 29 days, he travelled from the Blue Mountains out of Sydney, through Victoria, into South Australia, through Alice Springs, up to Darwin and around the coast to Perth, stopping off at Kalgoorlie, and then across the Nullarbor, through Broken Hill and back to the Blue Mountains. So Bob, we talked at the All British Day a couple of weeks ago, and you gave me a quick rundown about your trip around Australia, and I was just so intrigued. Thank you for coming and giving us a bit more detail now. But I'm always worried about stone chips when I'm out in the open, but I believe you had a wrap done on the car.
I did. I had the same concern, stone chips or dust and things thrown up from particularly passing road trains, etc. I got the car, the front, the bonnet and the wing mirrors all wrapped in a paint protection wrap.
You obviously had that done locally. You happy with what they did?
Oh yeah, Lucid in Penrith, the young guy there did it. Needed the car for a day, guaranteed for 10 years. And actually, there's a little bubble in it. I'm taking it back in a couple of weeks and he'll do it again. But there was no stone chips on the car.
I saw it when you showed it to me at the display day, and you just can't tell it's there.
No, you can't. No.
And how much protection does it actually give, though?
Well, I took a picture when I was probably, 14,000, when I was about 10,000 clicks into the trip. And you can see, I never washed the car while I was away, never cleaned it. Bits of dirt and bits of grit floating around, you can see where it's done it. But when you wash the car, it's all gone.
Right, so no actual chips in the paintwork at all?
No chips in the paintwork at all.
But you didn't hit any big stones, I guess? Yeah.
No, there was a couple of times when you're forced off the road by not overheight, but over width trucks, which was a bit of a shock because I wasn't used to that. Yeah. No, police coming towards me when I'm doing about 100 clicks going, get off the road, and you've got to get right over onto the shoulder. Bit concerned, particularly with a Jag, if the shoulder was too soft, but it's better than hitting a massive truck.
And of course, that's where all the stones are too.
Exactly, yeah.
So, on a similar vein, obviously you're out in the middle of Australia, and it's renowned for its red dust. I mean, did you get red dust on the car?
I did. I got red dust. To me, when I was doing this drive, I wrote this. It's just a simple line, but it was big skies, long roads, and red dust. That's what it was.
Right.
If anybody's done the eye test, I wear glasses, and you've got this big balloon in the middle of a road when you're getting your eyes done, that's what it looked like quite often. You just look straight down a bore of a road, and it's quite fascinating. Yep. It would be nice to get a windscreen wrap too, because I've got some little chips in the windscreen.
Yeah, I've got them in mine too. Yeah. It begs the question, it's a bit like the mountain, why did you climb the mountain? Because it was there, but why do a trip like this?
Well, I think I'm a POM, as you may or may not have noticed. I've been retired now for 3 years. I'm in my mid-70s. And I thought, if I don't do this trip now, the chances of me being fit enough to do it in another 5 or 10 years are going to be a bit remote. I did the drive. It was quite cathartic for me. It helped me focus what I want to do for the next 10 years, 15 years, whatever I got left. Didn't listen to music. I didn't listen to podcasts. It was me, myself and I, and the engine. That's what it was.
So it was the Jag really that sort of tempted you to do it? Yeah, is that right?
Yeah. I could have hired a car, could have got an RV, could have done this. And I had friends say to me, you're doing it in what? You're doing it in that? Yeah, I'm doing it in that.
Right.
It's a tourer and it's going to tour. And it did.
Fantastic. As you said to me earlier, it's probably designed to go around Europe rather than across Australia, but it's just that little bit different, isn't it, to be going across such open spaces and long trips. I'm interested, what sort of speeds did you get up to, if you can officially tell me? Because there's some open road up there, isn't there?
There is. In the Northern Territory in particular, but it's 130 clicks on some of their roads. But they're not the best roads to do it on because you've got a single carriageway with bi-directional traffic and very poor road markings. The Jaguar was brilliant for overtaking, particularly road trains, because you can get up and go past them pretty quick. But honestly, some of the roads are very iffy. I'm not going to say I held my breath, but I made sure I was quick going past the road trains, shall I say.
Sure, yeah.
Other parts of the roads, mostly pretty good. Roadkill on the roads. Going up the middle of Australia, there was so much roadkill.
Really?
Not so much in kangaroos, funny enough. I thought I'd see more dead kangaroos. There's a few joeys, cattle, camels. And the place I thought I'd see more dead was on the Nullarbor Plain.
Yeah, yeah.
Nullarbor Plain I found reasonably clean. Not many emus either, so I saw more dead cattle. And
Cattle?
I saw dead cattle and dead camels. Kangaroos, I never had any issues with kangaroos. The most was between Cobar and Ningen, and it was goats. But the goats were quite well behaved. If they heard you, they'd move inland rather than across the road.
Sure.
Yeah.
One of the other questions I had, Bob, is if you're travelling all this distance, were there friends to visit?
I did have a couple of friends. One of my mates owns a farm down in Victoria, down in Nathalia. So I met up with the two or three of us then met at his place for a couple of days, had a chat. And then I went up to Redcliffe near Mildura, and I got a guy I served in the Navy with back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Spent a couple of days with him. And then after that, it was just on my own.
So being in the Navy, that's a whole new interview. We're going to have to meet again.
Yeah, we're both submariners. We did
Submariners?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the RAN?
Both navies, Royal Navy
Yeah.
and the Royal Australian Navy. So I served in nuclear submarines and diesel submarines. But of course, only diesel in Australia.
So they're going to call you in when the new subs come from America?
I think I'll be dead and buried by the time I get around to that one. Spent my life in a diesel electric submarine with batteries. One cell, 2.2 volts, is almost as big as me. You know, so it was a different life.
So how do you vent that in the submarine? Because there's obviously...
Oh, when you're on the surface, you've got your mask, you've got your snort mask, and you can what do cord run opened up, so you just drag fresh air through the hatches. But it's a snorkel system. So,
But when you're under and down,
oh, you're running on batteries.
only batteries.
Yeah.
And the batteries have no exhaust or whatever.
If you get a really high discharge rate, you can get hydrogen exhaust. They build up in little pockets throughout the submarine. In the diesel electrics, we have high charge and high discharge. We had what's called hydrogen eliminators, which actually turn it back into water and eliminate it.
Like a filter sort of thing?
Well, yeah, it's just like bits of wire that evaporate the water. It's very basic and very interesting, but the idea is to get rid of the little pocket so it can't sit around and inside the deck edge of a
Because
submarine.
hydrogen's light, so it's going to go up, isn't it?
Yeah, which is where it's in all the
Which
decks.
is better than LPG, which goes down.
Yeah.
Okay, getting back to the trip. When we were at the All British Day, you told me that you had 9.1 as your average fuel consumption.
Yeah, it was 9.1 for the first 10,000 kilometres, which was a learning curve for me because I thought I'd zero it and do the whole trip, but it stops after 10,000 clicks anyway. So I took a photograph of that, as you know, and that was 9.1 for 10,000 kilometres, or 9,999.9, whatever it does.
Right.
On one of the legs, I did make 8.8.
That's pretty good. I mean, what's your average around town, urban?
About 10.5 to 11.
Yeah. So mine's sort of around 11-ish, 11 to 12.
Yeah.
So that sort of fits. I mean, of course, the supercharger will obviously have to chew up a little bit more fuel.
But that's bloody good for a 4.2 engine. Yeah.
The amazing thing to me is how economical the car is.
Yeah.
When you get out on the open road. Around town, I can watch the thing go down.
Yeah.
But I got to Bathurst and back, and I had a dribble left in there. From Sydney.
Other problem with fuel, if I may have mentioned it before, is there are some places where I couldn't get 95 or 98 and only 91 was available. So I did carry spare fuel, which it didn't, how do I say it? I didn't let myself get into serious trouble, but I used it to make sure I didn't, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it is a bit awkward. And a couple of the garages, I had to hand over my driver's license for them to unlock the 95.
You told me about the fact that you had one little hiccup, one mechanical hiccup, well, electrical anyway, with the rear brake light. And you took a spare bulb with you, which sort of surprised me somewhat, if you can understand that. What else did you take as spares?
I had 3 puncture outfits.
That's it?
And that was it, yeah. Well, we all know it's a space saver in those cars. Stuck at 80 clicks wasn't going to do me any favours. So 3 puncture outfits, whichever one was going to work best. I never had a problem. I got a puncture the day after I got home. So, yeah, I got back the next day. I went down the garage to service the car, had a puncture. Probably 100 metres from home. But the tyres were not going to say were good when I left, but I knew the tyres were reaching their end. I thought, do I replace them before I go or when I get back? So when I got back, service and 4 new tyres.
So how long have you had that car?
A bit over a year.
Right.
15 months, 18 months.
So this is even braver, the car only for 1 year and off around Australia.
Yeah.
You're braver than I am, I got to tell you.
I'm retired. What's going to happen? I'm going to be stuck in a town for somewhere. One of the things I did do though with the NRMA before I left was up to the top of the range, which is $1,000 tow and overnight's accommodation.
I think that would be very wise, yeah. And I guess it wouldn't cost you that much extra to do that.
And the other thing with the NRMA, I rang them about the 91 fuel and the fuel additives you can get for an octane boost. And I asked them, is it safe to use in my car? No, don't do it. Don't put 91 in, and the octane boosts aren't reliable enough to guarantee you're going to get what you want. So never do it.
That brings up something I did want to ask you about, and that's, did you just sail around Australia, or do you set a town and stay for a while, or?
I did some places. I did two nights if it was worth it. A couple of nights in Darwin. I can't remember. I did do some in two days, because what I would do, I'd stop and I'm like, well, what am I going to do next? And I'd contact the next town. I use booking.com, book a hotel, and if I thought that town was interesting, I'd book it for 2 nights, or if I was particularly tired. But it worked. I was able to book each one in advance. I had one place where I decided I changed my mind, which is when I left Darwin, I was going to come down towards Litchfield and Newman, but I'd heard there's supposed to be some bad weather coming and some of the roads might have been a bit iffy. So I stuck to the main road and went to the left and come down west coast. Yeah.
Something I was going to ask you about, have you got more photos?
I'll show you, just to give you an idea. Because this program, every time I took a picture wherever I was on the trip, is that. Every one of those is a photograph as I went round.
So then friends could follow up.
Yeah.
I guess you had to tell people though, didn't you, that you were out there?
I did. So it's only a group of friends and family in the UK.
Did you report to any authorities that you were doing it?
No. As we talked earlier on, I didn't listen to music. For me, it was 3 years retired. What am I doing? And I'm sitting in my car going, I'm travelling around Australia with everything I need inside this little Jaguar. Right? At home, I've got a bloody 5-bedroom house, study and God knows what else, 3-car garage, but I'm quite comfortable sitting in this car doing this long drive. Do I really need all these bloody accoutrements which I've built up over my life? So it actually helped me decide to downsize.